Hello, everybody. This is Tito Santana, and you're listening to InYourHeadOnline.com. Arriba!
All right, we're back once again, and making his 4th appearance on the show, which I believe ties him for most appearance on the show. He'll have to have him back so he can break the record. We have one of my all-time favorites. We had Jake the Snake Roberts.
How's it going, guys?
Going good. Now, last time we had you on, you were about to retire from wrestling. You have your last match. Have you totally retired from wrestling?
I have not been in a ring since. You know, it's been hard because you do something for 37 years and all of a sudden you're not doing it anymore. It kind of stings, you know. But it was time for me to get out and move on with my life, and trying to do that, and trying some new things. Things I never thought I'd try. But one of them being yoga.
Really?
So, yeah.
There's a lot of wrestlers that get into yoga. You know, have you found that it's helped some of your injuries, or just helped you?
Yes, I am. Diamond Dallas Page has got me into it, doing his thing, and it's helping. And my goal is to lose 60 pounds. So I've already lost 12 pounds already, and I'm going to keep going.
That's pretty awesome. Good for you.
Yeah.
What would you say you missed the most about wrestling? Is it in the ring, or just hanging out with the guys, or
in the ring?
Yeah,
in the ring, definitely. I mean, there's nothing more spectacular than being in the ring and feeling that electricity and feeding off that energy from the fans. And, the fans are so important. I still do signings, and I enjoy those immensely. It's an opportunity for me to thank them, but it's still not what I'd like for it to be. But you know, time takes it all from us. You know.
Mm-hmm. You talk about have the electricity in the ring and feeling the crowd. How long was it that you were in wrestling? Did you really think that you really understood it and felt like you were good at it?
No, I don't know if I ever felt like I was good at it.
Right.
I don't think I ever did. Understanding it, probably 7 or 8 years.
Yeah. Do you think that's because the way wrestling is today, it's harder for guys than when they're on TV to really be ready, since they come pretty much out of a wrestling school and right on TV?
Yeah, I don't see how they could be ready for the type of wrestling that we did, with the type of wrestling they're doing now. I guess they are ready, you know.
Yeah.
It's a completely different animal, you know, and I'm not knocking what they're doing now. The product they're putting out now is still good for what it is, but it's a completely different game, so it would be unfair to judge them either way.
Yeah. There's something I was going to ask you, because you've had great matches with guys that aren't particularly great and great matches with guys that are. Do you think it's easier to work with somebody who you might have to carry in the ring, like technically, but they're over with the crowd? Or is it easier to work with somebody who might be a great worker but isn't over? Which one's easier, which one's harder?
It doesn't matter either way for me. I mean, your job is to go out and do your job. Mm-hmm. Somebody that is on the same level that I was, and you go out there, you have a blast, you don't have to say a damn word. You know, you just go out and do it. You know, on the other hand, somebody that's not there on that level, but will listen, there's still no problem, because I could guide them right through it. Now, the ones who wouldn't listen were a pain in the ass, so that's that.
Yeah. Was it ever like personally proud for you to maybe have like a great match with a guy that maybe other people didn't think could have a good match?
Do what now?
Like, would you have a sense of pride if you could go out there and really do something like that?
Sure.
Somebody that maybe other people didn't think was capable?
Sure. A lot of people had a problem with Bad News Brown.
Uh-huh.
They could not go out and do it with him, Hogan being one of them. But I had no problem at all with Bad News. I realized that he was limited on his movements, getting up and down because his knees were shot, so I just didn't do that. You know, that's one thing I have to say that Bill Watts taught me: never expose weakness. If you expose his weakness, then you've beat a lesser man.
Now, I know you've had problems with Bill Watts over the years, but What's your relationship with him like now? And like you said,
sucks. Period. I hate the man for what he was to a lot of people, but you can still gain from somebody that you despise, you don't respect.
Mm-hmm. That's interesting. We have to have a couple callers here on the line. We'll try to get to them quick. 319 area code. Who are you?
This is Andrew from Cedar Rapids, Iowa.
All right. You have a question for Jake?
Yeah, I'm kind of nervous because I just called in, and I guess pretty much the first caller. Oh gosh, just talking to Jake the Snake, right?
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
I think so.
Yeah, I thought you were nervous about me, but yes.
Yeah. The other day, I was listening to the Wrestling Soup radio show, and they were talking about a story in Dallas or something. You were with Carlito, and there was a bunch of cops that were coming along, and the driver thought he was going to get arrested, but it was actually a bunch of cops getting an autograph.
Yeah, that was fun, man. It was a blast, man. Actually, they pulled us over because the guy wasn't driving properly. And I saved his ass because the policemen, once they noticed me, they started talking to me and they let the guy go. So that's something that owes me a beer.
Yeah, when I heard the story, I laughed my ass off.
It was funny, man, because he was squirting. He just knew he was going to jail. He didn't have proper plates or something. I don't know what the hell. I can't remember what the problem was, but it wasn't proper. We could have went to jail, but once they noticed me, I got out of the car and Carlito got out, and all of a sudden it was old home week, family reunion. So everything was good, man. It was funny though.
Yeah. How was Carlito reacting in the car?
Sitting there like nobody was there. He's an invisible man.
All right, I got one more question. When I get off the phone, if you had to suggest one match of yours, to watch from you, which match would it be?
Ronnie Garvin and I.
Whether it's technical wrestling or just pure entertainment, like Andre the Giant, which match?
Ronnie Garvin. Anything I did with Ronnie Garvin was worth watching.
Or
Ricky Steamboat.
What was it about Ron Garvin that you think was special?
Goddamn, because it was real. That son of a bitch beat the shit out of me. Ronnie and I would just go out there and go at it. And, again, never talk, just go out there and do it. And I'd just be beating the snot out of Ronnie, and I'd look down at him, and all of a sudden his nipples would get hard. And I knew that right then he was fixing to get up and kick the shit out of me, which is kind of weird in a way, but we'll just leave that alone. He never touched me inappropriately. He just beat the shit out of me.
Thanks for calling in.
You're welcome.
Let's see here. We got a 708 area code. Who are you?
This is Chi-Town. Jack, what's going on, Incher?
Hey.
Jake, thanks for everything you've done for the business. Big fan. Just wanted to know, during your WCW run with Sting, just wanted to know if you could talk a little bit about that and how Sting was to work with and how WCW was at that time. And, again, thanks for everything you've done for the business. I'm going to hang up and listen to your answer.
All right. Well, the answer to that is WCW at the time really sucked because Bill Watts was head of it. And he'd made me sign a contract that wasn't even close to fair. You can read about that in my book when it comes out. As far as working with Sting, I didn't enjoy it that much because I found Sting to be a little bit lazy at the time because he wasn't happy. Nobody was happy at the time when Bill Watts was here, believe me. And although we did the let's make a deal or spin the wheel, make a deal thing, which was a little entertaining, I thought the Pole Minor Gloves match was the worst choice they could have taken, but that's what they did, and we went ahead and did it anyway.
Yeah, was that always the original idea, the Coal Miner's Glove, or was it?
They didn't tell us anything, man, till it was done, But I thought it was a silly, stupid. I never had liked that damn gimmick match of that sort. I think there was a lot of choices that could have been better.
Yeah, it was very odd. What I want to ask you too was when you were real big heel and people started to cheer for you. Did any of the WWF or Hogan or anybody get mad about that? And do you think what was the reason for that? Do you think it was the society was starting to change and the anti-hero?
Well, WWF, it didn't do me any good because whenever we'd go out, Hogan and I went out, it was 50-50. if that. And that really screwed me up with my run with Hogan, because I wasn't going to get a run with Hogan with the crowd spitting like that, because they spent, billions of dollars promoting Hogan to be that icon, that head dog, and they didn't want anybody detracting from that, and therefore that's why I was turned babyface. As far as the fans, I think the fans turned for me because they respected my work. It's much easier in life if you nobody wants to fear somebody, and so therefore I'm gonna pick that guy. If I'm scared of that guy, I want to be on his side.
Right.
You understand? I mean, it's like whenever you play football, and when you're a kid and you choose teams, you hope that you get with the guy's team that's the baddest son of a bitch, because you don't want to get hit by him. Mm-hmm. And that's just the way people are.
Mm-hmm. I know you've said before that you had a lot to do with when Austin was really taking off, the Austin 316 stuff. And
right.
What was your mindset there? Do you think you were trying to have like a guy that maybe he's not a traditional babyface, but at the same time he was a guy that was really supposed to be the hero of the show? Like, was that hard to get across to people at the time? Like, you wanted this guy that was still kind of did bad things, but yet he was the guy that you wanted the fans to cheer for.
Well, I knew that if they ever pushed him, that he would wind up a babyface, because again, he was the same cut as I was, as far as being a bad son of a bitch and not doing stuff that was stupid.
Yeah. See,
that's the thing that I drilled into him, was don't go out there and do something that the fans will say, hey man, that's bullshit. Because if you do that, you lose your credibility. Once you lose your credibility in the ring, you might as well just be, Joe Blow. And he never lost his credibility.
Yeah. And do you think sometimes they will take a guy that's really over as a heel, and they will change him to become a babyface and change him too much and take away what the fans liked about him in the first place? But I think with Austin, they really kept him, what people liked about him.
Well, that was the thing with Steve, is that they'll say that when you do turn, don't change who you are. Because if you do, you're a phony. One of the worst about that was Lex Luger. Lex Luger, one week he was a badass, and he'd walk the ring snarling and giving everybody a rough look. And the next week he's a babyface, and he's out giving high fives. You don't do that. Mm-hmm. Once you do that, you've told people that you're a complete friggin' phony, and you lose your credibility. Back to that again.
Intern, did you have a question from the message board?
Yeah, I had a question from Ben Hodgetts. He wants to know, who in the business do you think does a good DDT, except yourself?
I can't think of anybody that does a good one. I really can't.
Did you ever see Ravens?
Yeah, but please. He's 5'6". He does a good midget DDT, but he's not, I love the guy. Don't get me wrong, I love Raven. I'm leaving him. I hope he hears that. So now he won't talk to me for another year. Okay. Oh, well, there was something good come out of that.
I always liked The Rock's a little bit. He did a pretty good one, I thought.
Nobody did it right, man. Are you kidding me? Let me ask you this. Who else beat their opponent with it?
I can't think of anybody.
Except one of the girls. One of the girls did it. They did a good job. I can't remember who it was. One of the female wrestlers did it, and she did a pretty good job of it. Yeah, nobody used it for a finish. So therefore, Jake Roberts did it, and he did not get up. So what does that mean? That means Jake Roberts kicked your ass.
Mm-hmm.
Chris Stratus used to do a decent one. Yeah.
Chris Stratus. Oh, okay, that's right. Do you think that's a problem, or what do you think about finishers as a whole? Do you think you should really try to keep it where if you hit it, it's the end of the match? Or is there times where they can kick out?
I think that if you hit your finisher, it should be the end, man. I mean, are you so stupid you can't come up with another idea for an ice spot? Damn. I remember a good ice spot used to be 2 arm drags. What the hell? Yep. Do it right, boys. When's the last time you seen a couple arm drags and a drop kick? Well, I haven't seen that in a while. No, today it's 2 arm drags, drop kick, with sledgehammer. Oops. What do I believe here?
Was there ever a time someone brought up, like, they wanted to kick out of the DDT in one of your big matches?
Yeah, with Undertaker.
What was your reaction?
Fine, I was leaving, and I was smart enough to know not to cover him until the 9 seconds. You know, I'm not a complete idiot. I'm a snake.
Was it ever hard working with like a real big guy, like either Andre or Earthquake?
Oh, those guys were easy.
Really?
Yeah. On the other hand, working with Vader was like going to the dentist with no Novocaine.
Was he another guy? Was it because he was stiff, or?
He was very stiff. He broke my sternum. He broke my sternum twice.
Mm.
Yeah, so I had a problem with him.
Is there a difference between working stiff and working like dangerous?
Oh, absolutely. Working solid's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Working stiff is not right because you're going to hurt somebody. And working dangerous is when you hit people in the wrong spots, like your sternum. You can give me the chop from hell, I don't mind. Or lay one across my back, I don't mind. But if you bust my teeth out, I got a problem with it.
Right.
If you kick me in the nuts and I cough them up on the plate, I've got a problem with that.
I'll answer another question from the message board or Facebook.
Joseph Ventura, he wants to know, what was your biggest regret in your life or wrestling?
Ever doing drugs first time.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Because drugs are the biggest lie there ever was. You start out doing them and it's all a good time and nobody's getting hurt and it's just for fun. But then that monster turns on you and it becomes not only something you want to do, it's something you have to do. And that's when it sucks. And it's really tough.
I'm going to be perfectly honest talking to you today. You actually sound really good.
Oh, I feel really good, man.
That's good.
Yeah, I'm ready to do it. I'm ready to do a lap dance for you.
Oh, excellent.
He's game for that. Get out your ones, Jack.
Did you say game or gay?
Either way.
I'll be shoving that money anywhere else I have. I'll just put it underneath my garter.
There are some videos from the last convention we were at, but we won't go into that.
Yeah, please.
We'll never know if you do want to. If you would want to book Jake Roberts here for appearance, autograph, whatever it is, you contact Shannon at farmgirl@atlantic.net, and we'll have the link right on the website. And do you know when around what time the book will be coming out?
It's going to be a while yet. I'm over 3/4 of the way through, but I got 600 pages done. So you tell me what it's going to be. It's going to be a good read.
Yeah.
It's going to be real, and I think it'll help a lot of people. I think it'll be very entertaining, but I do think it's going to help a lot of people.
Yeah. What was when you decided to write it? What was like the reason behind it? Did you want to tell your stories? Did you want to help people?
I wanted to tell the story and tell the truth and let people know how I felt about my mistakes,
mm-hmm.
and how things can change your life in a negative way and a positive way too. So I just think it's a good story that needs to be out there, and it can really help a lot of young people with their life and their problems.
Yeah. Did you keep a diary or any type of records?
No.
Self memory.
No, that's what's taking so long. I have to do enough memory. It takes a long time to dig that shit up.
Yeah. Has it been a positive experience, thinking about all this stuff?
At times it's very rough.
Yeah.
There's raw places in your life, man. There's places you don't want to go to, but in all fairness, if you're going to do a book, you got to bring out the good and the bad and the ugly.
Mm-hmm. Just one more question here was from Vic. He wanted to know about when you were working with the Ultimate Warrior. And
I never worked with him.
Well, when you were doing the vignettes with the
Yeah.
And he said he thought they were really creepy stuff at the time, and he said it was kind of a cartoony world. Were all your interviews, or this was one in particular, so that all ad-libbed, or was any of it scripted?
Mine was always ad-libbed. Nobody wrote shit for me.
Mm-hmm.
On the Warrior, on the other hand, they had to write it for him and rewrite it for him and then use the puppet. Thanks for having me on, guys.
All right. We want to thank you for coming on, and we're looking forward to the book.
No problem. Take care. Be safe.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
This is Tony Mamaluke, and you're listening to In Your Head.